Welcome back, iPix viewers. Today, we're diving deep into Microsoft Sentinel, transforming it from just another tool in your Azure portal into the central nervous system of your security operations. Forget the confusion and the overwhelming setup process. We're going to deploy Sentinel like a seasoned pro, following a structured, repeatable methodology that guarantees a robust and effective deployment. Over the next 10 minutes, we'll walk through a comprehensive checklist covering everything from initial planning and architecture to advanced automation and ongoing governance. By the end of this guide, you'll have a fully operational, cost-optimized, and intelligent SIEM solution. Let's get started. Before we ingest a single log, let's lay the foundation. First, prerequisites. You need an active Azure subscription. Within that subscription, you'll create a log analytics workspace, which is the heart of Sentinel, storing all your data. A crucial decision here is the region. Choose a region that aligns with your data residency requirements and is geographically close to your users and services to minimize latency. Next, let's talk architecture and access. Role-based access control, or RBC, is non-negotiable. You must define who can do what. Assign the Microsoft Sentinel contributor role to your security engineers, who will manage the environment, and the Microsoft Sentinel responder role to your SOC analysts, who will investigate incidents. Avoid using broad owner permissions for day-to-day tasks. This granular control is fundamental for security and operational integrity. Get this right, and you've already won half the battle. Now, we move to milestone 1. Assess. You can't protect what you don't know you have. The first step is a thorough environmental assessment. Start by mapping your assets. This isn't just a server list. It's a comprehensive inventory of every virtual machine, database, web application, IoT device, and user identity in your digital estate. Document everything. With your assets mapped, the next logical step is to map your data sources. For each asset, identify the logs and signals it generates. For an Azure VM, it's performance metrics and security events. For Microsoft 365, it's sign-in logs, audit logs, and email activity. For your on-premises firewall, it's traffic and threat logs. Create a detailed map that links each asset to its corresponding data sources. This map becomes your blueprint for data collection, ensuring you have complete visibility across your entire environment. Finally, map your compliance needs. Are you subject to GDPR, HIPAA, PCI DSS, or other industry regulations? Each of these frameworks has specific requirements for log collection, retention, and monitoring. For example, PCI DSS requires daily log reviews and specific retention periods for payment-related systems. Document these requirements clearly. This will directly influence your data retention policies and the specific detection rules you enable later on. This assessment phase is your strategic planning. Don't rush it. A well-documented plan makes the technical implementation smooth and predictable. Milestone 2. Connect. With our plan in place, it's time to bring the data in. This is where Sentinel starts to come alive. We'll navigate to the Data Connectors blade in the Sentinel portal. This gallery is your hub for integration, offering over 100 out-of-the-box connectors. We'll start with the low-hanging fruit, native Microsoft services. First, enable the connector for Azure activity. This provides subscription-level events, giving you insight into who is doing what within your Azure environment, an absolute must-have. Next, enable the connectors for Microsoft 365 Defender and Microsoft Defender for Cloud. These are not just simple log forwarders. They create a deep, bi-directional integration, allowing Sentinel to pull in rich alerts and incidents from these platforms and even push updates back. For Office 365, you'll connect logs from SharePoint, Exchange, and Teams to monitor for suspicious file sharing, mail rule manipulation, and other collaboration-based threats. Now, let's extend our reach. To get visibility into your virtual and physical machines, you'll deploy the Azure Monitor Agent or AMA. This agent is the future of data collection, allowing you to specify exactly which event logs and performance counters to collect using data collection rules, which we'll discuss more later. For your third-party security appliances like firewalls, proxies, and IDS/IPS systems, you'll typically use syslog or commonly known as CDF. You'll configure a log forwarder, a dedicated Linux VM, to receive these logs and securely forward them to your log analytics workspace. The key is to follow the specific integration guide for each connector to ensure the data is parsed correctly. Milestone 3. Ingest. As data begins to flow, we need to manage how it's stored and for how long. This is critical for both compliance and cost. In your log analytics workspace settings, you'll find the usage and estimated costs blade. Here, you can set the default retention period for your data. Your compliance assessment from Milestone 1 will guide this decision. For example, you might set a 90-day interactive retention for immediate analysis and a 7-year total retention for long-term compliance, with data older than 90 days automatically moved to cheaper archive storage. Now for the most important part of cost management, log tiers. Not all data is created equal. High-value security logs like sign-in events and firewall denials belong in analytics log tiers. This makes them fully searchable with KQL and available for alerting. However, verbose, low-value logs, like DNS queries or network flow logs, might be better suited for basic log tiers. Basic logs have limited query capabilities and cannot be used for alerts, but they are ingested at a significantly lower cost. You can configure this on a per-table basis. Furthermore, you can use data collection rules, or DCRs, to filter logs at the source. For instance, you can create a DCR to drop noisy informational Windows events before they even leave the endpoint, saving you ingestion and storage costs. Proactively managing your ingestion strategy using retention, log tiers, and DCRs is how you prevent bill shock and ensure your Sentinel deployment is financially sustainable. Milestone 4. Detect. With our data lake now populated, it's time to find the needles in the haystack. This is the detection phase. We'll head to the Analytics blade in Sentinel. Here you'll find hundreds of rule templates created by Microsoft security experts. Don't just enable them all, that's a recipe for alert fatigue. Start with a curated approach. Filter for rules that are relevant to the data sources you've connected and the threats you're most concerned about. Focus on high fidelity, high severity rules first, such as impossible travel or malicious inbox forwarding rule. Once you've enabled the built-in templates, it's time to level up with custom rules. Using Custo Query Language, or KQL, you can write your own detections tailored to your specific environment and business logic. For example, you could write a rule to detect when a user from the finance department accesses a server in the engineering VNet outside of business hours. This is where you can codify your organization's unique security policies. As alerts start to fire, you must tune them. If a rule is consistently generating false positives, don't just ignore it. Edit the rule's logic. Add exceptions for known service accounts or specific IP ranges. Use the alert suppression feature to group similar noisy alerts into a single incident. Constant tuning is the difference between a noisy, ignored SIEM and a highly effective threat detection platform. Milestone 5. Automate. Effective detection is great, but speed of response is what truly matters. Manually investigating every alert is not scalable. This brings us to automation, powered by Sentinel's SOAR capabilities and Azure Logic apps. We call these automation workflows playbooks. A playbook is a collection of procedures that can be run from Microsoft Sentinel in response to an alert. Let's build a simple but powerful playbook. The trigger will be when a Microsoft Sentinel incident is created. The first action could be to enrich the incident. For example, if the incident contains an IP address, the playbook can automatically query a threat intelligence service like VirusTotal to get its reputation score. Then, it can post this information back into the incident as a comment. This saves an analyst precious minutes on every single alert. We can take it a step further. Based on the enrichment data, we can add conditional logic. If the IP reputation is malicious, the playbook can automatically create a ticket in ServiceNow, block the IP address on your Azure firewall, and disable the associated user account in Azure AD. To make this work, the Logic app's managed identity needs the correct permissions, like Azure Firewall Contributor or User Administrator, to perform these actions. Start with simple enrichment playbooks and gradually build towards fully automated response actions. Milestone 6. Monitor and iterate. A Sentinel deployment is not a set-it-and-forget-it project. It's a living system that requires continuous care and feeding. This is our final milestone. Your primary tool for monitoring the health and effectiveness of Sentinel itself is workbooks. Workbooks are interactive dashboards that provide deep insights into your data. Use the Security Operations Efficiency Workbook to track key metrics like mean time to acknowledge and mean time to remediate. Use the Data Collection Health Workbook to ensure your connectors are stable and not dropping logs. These dashboards give you the situational awareness needed to manage your SOC. Beyond monitoring alerts, you must be proactive. This is where threat hunting comes in. The Hunting Blade in Sentinel allows you to run pre-built or custom KQL queries across all your log data to proactively search for signs of attack that your analytics rules may have missed. This is hypothesis-driven investigation. For example, you might hunt for rare PowerShell commands being executed across your server fleet. If you find something interesting, you can easily promote that result into a new incident or even use the query to build a new analytics rule. Finally, establish a governance cadence. Set a recurring 30-day review on your calendar. In this meeting, review your cost trends. Assess alert fatigue by identifying the top 10 noisiest rules and plan your next tuning sprint. Document your rules, playbooks, and procedures. By following these 6 milestones, assess, connect, ingest, detect, automate, and monitor, you build more than just a SIEM. You build a living, breathing security intelligence platform that evolves with your environment and the threat landscape. You create a system that not only detects threats, but actively responds to them, continuously learns, and becomes more efficient over time. Check each box, and you've got a living Sentinel. We've covered a lot of ground, and to help you put this all into practice, I've compiled this entire process into a detailed deployment checklist. If you want a copy of that PDF to guide your own implementation, just drop a comment below.